Om Vim Dim Kam Tam Sham Lam Vidim Yam Tam Shivam Barakashitram Mahadevam Yam Tam. Welcome to this video on the Zenwara channel. My name is Sri Satguru, Buddha Rawa Bhagwan. Today's video we will talk about Catemaco in Mexico, the city of witches, of witchcraft, and what's going on there. So let's begin. Catemaco, and there's water there too, is a place where many stories converge. Many stories meet a place of power. Catemaco is a place where there is a culture of magic, which is living, thriving. So Catemaco is a place where there are different stories from different creation stories and cultures that all come into Catemaco, making it a very special place. A place of power. Now, there's a storyline in Catemaco, whether you're looking at one storyline or another, there's many storylines. As I said, many creation stories which empower many types of magic in the land. You have magic of the land, the magic of the gods, magic of all the different things, all that's, and in this way, all places are in this way, but Catemaco is a hot point, okay? So, Catemaco is visited maybe by tourists or things like that, who, for different reasons, including potentially in participating in something having to do with witches. Now, Catemaco is known for many reasons, and there are many videos on Catemaco now on YouTube. Okay. And there's a storyline going on in Catemaco, where Catemaco is also a place where there is a satanic cult, if you want to call it that way. Okay. And they've even got a place there where by the water where people go and they make deals with the devil, pledges and all these things, and then they've got a cave for the devil, and then they've got this temple of this cult leader, okay, essentially, who's a self-proclaimed sorcerer, okay, but he does have power because he comes from a real lineage of descent of the leader of that kind of cult, okay, which has a lineage essentially. So they actually transfer that lineage from the leader of the temple, if you want to say it, to the next, as they have a descent transference of the high priesthood, if you want to call it that way, of that temple. To the devil, right? So it's a scary place. Okay, so first of all, they'll tell you right away that they'll show you this is the cave of the devil, this is all these things and all this stuff. So you have to understand that these are people you probably don't want to be messing around with. You know, that's probably a good understanding of things. If you're a regular person, you probably don't want to be messing around with a cult of devil worshippers, right? Satan worshippers or something like that, right? So what you have in Catemaco is you have all the stories that are all combining, and one of those stories is the story of the devil and devil stories, right, which converge in there as well. And they have a strong point. They have this cult. They have this, outdoor pentacle where they do rituals with a little pyramid up the steps where they do sacrifices and stuff like that, and where they would love to sacrifice people. So they're interesting people. They do all kinds of stuff like that. Now, who are these people? They also do other things, right? So some people go to them for different reasons, you know, and we see, I've been watching YouTube videos on this recently, and I see people going to them and doing rituals with them and all these different things. And I'm just not sure that people fully understand that these are actually rituals that have power, and that these people have an agenda, right? So that's what you should understand, you know. And there's a lot going on in Catemaco right now, you know, that's been going on in Catemaco. There's definitely a lot going on. So what's going on in Catemaco is you have the equivalent of a spiritual war that's going on, you know, essentially in Catemaco, right? It's at a state of war. And Catemaco used to have a balance, right? Because they used to have the Brujo Major, right? The old man who kept the peace, essentially, in Catemaco. But he died, right? He was like 84 or something like that, but he didn't die from natural causes. He was taken out by the satanic forces, right? To break the peace, the protection over Catemaco. So Catemaco is going through a whole storyline, you know, of what's going on. And, you know, in Catemaco, you have different groups. You have, for example, also the people of the path of the flower path of the land, right? Who are doing white magic, but who are very powerful in protecting themselves with white magic. But they're doing it in the jungles because that's where they're doing their work. You know, they do it during the day. People can go to them to get healed and stuff like that in the jungle, the flower path. But there's the demon, the devil worshippers, essentially the Satanists, which are coming for everyone. You know, they're growing, and they're basically getting more popular and more powerful, and they're going on the offensive against the others in Catemaco, basically. So that's basically what you see going on, right? So essentially what you have is you have a conflict going place in Catemaco, and the reason is because what's going on is these devil worshippers here, they also have a shaman, okay, a special shaman, but he's not really a shaman, but he'll introduce himself maybe to you in that way. And you know, people, for example, do YouTube videos and they go see these people and they let them do these rituals on them. Well, this guy, what he's doing, he'll bring you to a special shed, which is their favorite place. And, you know, you can find this on YouTube videos in Catemaco, a special shed, and, you know, he'll pull out the herbs and pretend he's doing a cleansing on you. But what he's really doing after that is he's going to draw a circle around you, okay, inside this shed. And they all explain that it's our favorite shed. We do all our rituals here, you know, and we'll do you a cleansing. So people go to this place, this satanic temple, whatever, do a cleansing. And what's really going on is they're not going to tell you this, but what they're going to do is they circle you, and then the shaman invites in his way, okay, a demon to enter the body. So he circles the body. He'll put something around you in the shed that he brings you to, and then he tries to bring a demon into the body. Okay, so one of the demonic forces of the devil, right? So he tries to bring a demon into the body. And then depending on the... so they want to have as many people pass by there to try, because they're trying to bring in demons, right? So all the witches, like, so they've got this leader of this satanic cult here, okay? And under him, he's got a coven of witches. But what people don't necessarily know is that all of these witches went through this ritual and a demon entered them. So what we really have here, this demonic temple here, is a colony of demons, which is growing in Catemaco. A colony of demons. So the shaman guy who's doing the rituals, he's the one bringing the demons into the bodies of people that are coming. And as people come, he circles them, and then he invites demons to come into their body. And then the demon takes over the body. And then if it's a successful transfer, then the demon basically says, "Hello, brother," or something like that, you know? The demon's in the body now at that point. So the demon has done fusion with the person, the body, the person that was there. So this is a very dangerous person, as you can imagine, you know, the shaman guy. if you let them circle you, first of all, you never let anyone circle you. That's a good rule of thumb. You know, you never let anyone circle you except if you're really sure what you're doing, or you have no choice. He'll circle the person, bring them in that shed, okay, and then he'll bring a demon into the body. And what they're trying to do also is bring in the most powerful demon that they can as well. So they're trying to bring in people who are spiritually advanced, spiritual developed, you know, all these more qualified candidates. Because more powerful demons will only come and enter into a more qualified candidate, you know? And sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes the demon won't take that body because the candidate is not qualified enough, and the demon basically wouldn't have enough power, so it doesn't consider taking that body. But they love to take the body of anyone who has any kind of spiritual ability and all that too. And the more spiritual ability, the more powerful a demon might come in. So they try to do this ritual on as many people as they can to grow their demon colony that they're growing in Catemaco. And then people are leaving and going other places and all these things. But the coven of witches, they all went through this, and a demon entered them. They're all basically possessed by demons. You know, so that's basically what's going on in Catemaco. So on the other side, you have the flower path, which is a path of healing and of white magic, which is good people, including one very powerful practitioner in Catemaco, who's resisting in their way to and healing people in the forest and the jungle, you know, at the place where they do this, but they're under attack by these demons, who are basically waging war on all the other traditions and practices of the area of Catemaco. So they should be aware of what's going on, and most of them probably are. Right? So the peace used to be maintained by the Brujo Major, you know, who died, and he was taken out by the demons. So it wasn't a natural death. And so that's what's going on in Catemaco. But you have many other stories that are converging in Catemaco. You have stories of vampires, you have stories of different things, you have stories of the beings that can transform into animals. You have different stories that are all converging in Catemaco. So many stories. But the devil worship and all that is getting popular, and the demon colony is growing in Catemaco. So they're even brazen enough now where they're showing themselves, and they're showing their Satan's temple and all that stuff and all these things to bring more people in so they can grow their demon colony. Right? So they're growing the demon colony. So something to be aware of, you know, if you're interested in these things. So how do I know these things? Because I'm all pervading. So lots of magic in Catemaco in Mexico. And my recommendation to people is, you know, personally, my personal way of seeing things is, you know, I'd rather do yoga than make a deal where I have to give something up, you know. Oh, I guess yoga, you have to sacrifice a little bit, right? So I guess you don't get away from sacrificing a little bit somewhere. But, you know, it's like the difference between being willing to put in the work to get to the result or trying to cheat. But there's a consequence because you always get caught eventually. You know. Thank you for listening to this video on the Zen Warrior channel. Oh, and I wanted to add one more thing actually before we hang up here. Now, as Ishwara, High Lord of War, right? I am the leading spiritual leader of the path of war, right? The path of war exists to also defend the path of flowers. So for now, I'm just watching what's going on. without any really any implications. But if the path of flowers were to reach out to the path of war, of the land, and ask for assistance in their defense, for example, well, the path of war would come to the defense of the path of flowers and the ones practicing the white magic in the jungle. So this channel has a contact in the information part of the channel. And I hope peace comes to Catemaco. But reality is, when you've got a demon colony, you've got a bit of trouble coming your way. Thank you for listening to this video on the Zenwara channel.